He is one of my heroes. He's like me, he was born in Ohio, and I've actually had the pleasure to go and see his birthplace. I know what that's all about. There were very few people who could keep up with him. He generally worked 20 hours a day. That's a real thing. I think one of the reasons that Ford and Edison got along was Ford was one of the few people that Edison saw the same kind of dedication to work that he had. The downside of that is social skills were a little bit lacking.
What do you think of the writing of the play?
It's subtle in its, it kind of creeps up on you how good it is. At first, Edison has no love of Harding whatsoever. I think that was probably true at the time. Edison didn't have a good record with politics. He was trying to get a lot done, and he felt politicians were kind of in his way. He doesn't even want to talk to Harding initially. Then over time he listens to Harding's story, and actually something sympathetic in him opens up. I think that's in part because Henry actually does frighten him a little bit. Henry's talk about exactly what kind of country he wants to have, which is hardly based on any concept of democracy, genuinely frightens Edison. And I think he comes to recognize that while politicians aren't the company he would like to keep, politicians are kind of necessary in this world. I do think there was a genuine affection between Ford and Edison. They lived together, they admired each other. And the one story that I want to relate about Edison that I read was when they had the 50th anniversary of the electric light bulb being set up to illuminate the southern part of Manhattan. They had a celebration at the museum that Henry had set up. And Edison went, and there were many, many speakers, including President Hoover at the time, and they talked, and the day went on, and it was a warm day, and eventually Edison's part of the ceremony was to walk up and push a switch and say, "Let there be light." And after that, he had to listen to 3 hours of speeches. And at the end of them, he finally collapsed under the heat. Ford rushed to his side, and he said, "Are you all right, Mr. Edison?" And he said, "Henry, enough glory. Let me get back to work."